Hi there, and welcome to Bustthenet. Yes, what if I managed Ajax? Now, we played one season with Ajax. I did this while I was in the hospital accompanying my son. I had nothing to do except worry about my son, so I decided I'm not gonna do this for. I'm not doing this very well because I was worrying too much. So I decided, okay, let's whip out a game and play the game instead of worrying so much. So I ended up playing with Ajax. I finished this entire Ajax season in one sit down, right? So I sat down there for about a few hours and just went through the whole game, set everything up from the start, and said, okay, let's see what happened. I mean, the last four games I had to pause for a course, and I had to come back to it a few hours later. But we managed to seal the deal. Ajax finishing champions of the Eredivisie with Kasper Dolberg scoring 44 goals. Ajax finishing the season as the Champions League winners, this time beating Spurs in the Champions League semi-finals. I wanted to see what would happen. So it was an interesting run. In fact, it was so funny because um, hey, I never thought Ajax would end up playing Liverpool 2 in the finals. It was like the semi-final lineup was Ajax versus Spurs and Liverpool versus United in the other half. So there were three English clubs and Ajax, which is so similar to what was actually happening in real life. Um, okay, so we did the deed. We got to the finals and we won the finals. So on today's show, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you what had actually happened, right? So what was my approach? So I wanted to see several things in action. First, I've got this model called the CDA model, which I've been using since like God only knows when, because the way I approach the game is very simple. Core duty attributes. That's all I worry about. I don't even give a shit about rules. Okay, I only care about duty attributes. So if I want to develop a team, it's gonna go in a certain direction. So there are certain attributes that I'm gonna work on because if I want to play a lot of support duties, decisions off the ball, positioning becomes very important. Now, if I want to play a system where I'm hitting teams on the break, sitting back, hitting teams on the break, then I want to have acceleration inside there as well. Crossing becomes important. Positioning becomes important. Work rate becomes important. So certain things are important in the way I set things up. So I look at certain attributes in players when I sign them. I look at certain attributes in players as I develop them, and then I look at these attributes again to decide whether I'm going to keep them or not. So when it comes to these attributes, I've done this in another show. I'm just going to quickly run through these attributes for the sake of so that if you haven't seen this before, you might not understand. I mean, I've written this in my book. I've done this. I mean, anybody who's been reading my books will know that these were refined over time. First up, the most important attribute in the whole game, right? There are three swing attributes: determination, work rate, and bravery. Now, naturally, you don't need everybody to have bravery, but the moment you want to support DT dropping back, pitching in with a tackle, bravery becomes important. Determination is also important. It's a swing attribute in the game. Very important because it affects everything, right? From training, development to results in the game. Because if you're a goal down, you don't want a team of pansies, right, with determination of three because they're just going to throw in the towel. You want the high levels of determination, and it's easier to develop players with good determination. All right, then you got work rate. Work rate is important because if you want to play a game of high intensity, going up and down, up and down, up and down, you need stamina and you need work rate. So these are swing attributes. These are important. Um, why do I call them swing attributes? Because sometimes you have two players that's similar in attributes, and you go like, which one do I pick? Now I look at determination, work rate, and bravery to decide. Okay, and then when it comes to duties, I split duties into like the game does defend, attack, and support. But here, this is where I differ slightly in terms of how I choose my players. Now, if I want to play a game that's attacking, which is primarily in your face kind of, I want to play the game full on. Then I expect a lot of even my attacking duties to have the ability to drop back and defend. So sometimes I might play a 4-1-2-3, right? So then I have a Mazzala in central midfield. Here, my Mazzala might be on an attack duty, but because he's on the he's going to help protect the flanks. I need work rate, I need determination, I need bravery, I need him to be able to tackle. So that becomes important. So the question is, here it's core duty literally means what do you want that player to do, right? So you have to have a notion what you want him to do. So in my games, so what I did was I went into this and I said, okay, fine. Ajax, your core duty attributes are these: positioning for anybody who has to defend, off the ball for anybody who's got to go and support attack. Then I need to know whether you can do it. You have a hit on your shoulder that says I know how to defend, anticipation, concentration, right? So this will tell me whether you can defend. Then if you're great in the air, good, no, jumping reach becomes important, right? So you can deal with headers. Then in midfield, I need you to be able to pass the damn ball. First touch and passing becomes important. Then as I move up the tier and I go like, I need players who can create vision, so who can, make the passes. And then that becomes more role side. Then you can decide whether that player can play a role that can unlock defenses. Finally, in the final third, then you're looking for acceleration, balance, agility. You're looking for a person with acceleration to break behind defenses, to score. You don't want them to be caught on the offside trap, anticipation. Then you want finishing. So eventually you get this nice little picture. So I drew up this picture and I went to training. Now training, I got my youth team, under 19s, and my senior team. So what I did was, first up, let's look at the youth team, right? So under 19s, we had a training. I went to the schedules, and I had basically only 5 schedules for them. Attacking. So this is the one they used, right? So attacking schedule. Now, I create this schedule, I saved it, and I put it in the calendar. Now, I would not change it for any reason. So even if the S-Man comes to me and says, hey, we're playing a game today, and I decided, well, maybe they should have more rest days. I don't give a shit. Just do it this way. So even if they have a match here, there's no recovery. There's no bloody recovery. I don't recover. There's no recovery period for my team except for this day. So they have recovery. Other than that, they have match practice, and this is how they play. Why chance conversion? Because if you look at the list up here, I was going for the same kind of attributes, right? I wanted composure, anticipation, concentration, decisions off the ball, anticipation off the ball, decisions off the ball, anticipation, composure. These are my core duty attributes. These are the attributes I was after for attacking. So the attacking unit. Then we go to the defending unit. Now, I didn't write it up here, but basically it was anticipation, decisions, work rate were the attributes I wanted from my attacking team. And my defensive team will also get anticipation, tackling, passing. So you see, this is a fantastic session because it hits both the attacking and the defensive units. But here, the one I was after was anticipation, passing and tackling. So great, you can work on that. Then transition, restrict, same thing, passing, tackling, anticipation, concentration. Then we had ground defense. These are all the technical attributes that deal with defending. And then we have mentals. We have the same thing, attacking, shadow play. Again, I'm after the same kind of attributes. Anticipation, composure, decisions. Anticipation, composure, decisions. Anticipation, composure, decisions off the ball. So we did quite well with the mentals. So they will work on mentals. There's this one for pure like this I'm not too sure. I did use a fair bit of this, but not as much as the attacking, defending, mentals. There's a lot of these attacking, defending, mentals, positioning once in a while, because I much prefer this one, PRD, because if PRD has got a composure, decisions off the ball, teamwork for the attacking unit, and then for the defending unit, concentration, decisions, positioning. So great. So we set our youth team and to this, and it worked on it the whole season. In terms of the attributes that ended up being developed for the youth team, I was very happy with the direction they went in, because here again, they will all be on double intensity. Nothing changed here, as you can see. So this is a new season, right? I haven't changed anything. It's all double intensity. And every single one of them has got an additional focus, because if I don't do this might become a bit lighter. So we have quite a number of players. Here, I was very happy with Gravenberch. He's only 16 years old. Development was exceptional. Okay, so you can see the attributes are after concentration, determination is just there, right? Concentration improved, composure improved, his physical attributes all improved. As you can see, he's shown improvement across the board. So most of the youth players all did really, really well. And then we also had our mentoring groups created. So now we had quite a number of players all having determination improvements, right? So here we got Rasmus Nielsen, attribute changes. If I go here, you got determination improving. Matisse Delete, attribute changes. Move everything. God, this guy had 19 attribute gains, man, the whole season. I was like, determination also increased. So really happy with the development, except for one player, Sebastian Pasquale. I mean, I've since added Tagliafico here, because if I want to continue with this save, I need to add one more player from the core social group to join this because Sebastian Pasquale and Nicholas Kern did not show improvements in determination, whereas everybody else did. So that's the only change. So mentoring, yeah, I didn't do too badly with mentoring either. So now training schedules over the senior team was simple. We had only defending technicals as well as my PRD, right? So there was only and force. We only have 4 training schedules. So this is the first one, defending. Again, transition, a bit of the technical stuff here. Then we had attacking technicals, chance conversion, chance creation, and attacking patient and direct. Then we had this, our PRD. I love this. I mean, I use this quite a lot. Anticipation, composure, decisions, teamwork, defensive shadow play, attacking shadow play, ball distribution, retention, and I like these transition ones. 40-40. We got these, and then got these 2. And finally, we had the finishing crossing training sessions, right? So basically, that's how I look at it. I look at this finishing, crossing, and off the ball. Chance conversion, right? So we got finishing, anticipation, composure, chance creation, decisions, flair, off the ball, vision, crossing, passing. Well, and I was quite happy as well here. They all did well, trained quite well. Dolberg, one of the strikers, attribute changes, also showed a lot of improvement. He had a period of time where his determination actually dropped. There we go. But he went back up again. So net still good. I don't know why his marking went up, but his finishing and his finishing showed improvement, 15 compared to where he was at 14. And his dribbling also showed improvement. So he was playing as a complete forward, scored by shit ton of goals. I was so happy with the way he played. Well, it's time now to take a look at the Champions League, what actually happened in the safe. Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund went through, PSG, Schalke went through, Manchester United, Bayern went through, Ajax, Galatasaray went through, Man City, final day, they just couldn't do it. They lost. Then we had Spurs and Juventus going through, Olympic Lyon, Roma going through, Liverpool topped the table ahead of Barcelona. They went through, and it was kind of cool. Our first knockout round match was gonna be against Barcelona, home and away. Away, we didn't do too well against them, losing 3-2. The return fixture, on the other hand, that turned out to be a different story. I think something interesting grows in the stands in the Ajax Arena Stadium, and we were going to take advantage of this when Olympic Lyon came calling in the quarter-final leg of the Champions League. The final result was 7-3 on aggregate after the away match ended in a 1-1 draw. This set us up very nicely for a Champions League semi-final clash against Tottenham Hotspur. Once again, we would have to begin with a home leg match. Liverpool themselves had a very interesting run to the final, beating Borussia Dortmund, PSG and United. The final, on the other hand, well, I have to thank a certain Liverpool player. He did me a big favor. if you take a team like Ajax, you probably should expect to win the Eredivisie. There's no doubt in my mind. You have to win. I mean, it's the minimum standard, right, with Ajax. We were not able to lift the Dutch Cup final because I had to rest the team. Literally, most of the first team players that were I needed for the finals of the Champions League, they all had to be rested. In fact, the man himself, Kasper Dolberg, I had to keep him fresh. So players like Kasper Dolberg, Dusan Tadic, they all had to sit out the Dutch Cup final. And well, I was glad that we managed to rest them because the second leg against Spurs, we managed to beat Spurs 1-0. And it was the first away win of the season in the knockout rounds. That set us up very nicely for the final against Liverpool. So if you were to manage Ajax, I think you could do quite well. And I was very happy with the way the team developed. It's interesting. I kind of thought this was a really interesting little what if. Yeah, what if I managed? Would I see the same kind of a permutation? It turns out Liverpool in the final in FM19 too. Who would have thought? Their route may have been a bit different, but still quite an interesting set of things happen in this game. The only surprise was Manchester United making it all the way to the semi-finals. Hey, yeah, but it's such is life. So in the next, let me know what happens in your Ajax save. Did you find it challenging? Was it the same thing? Did you see Liverpool end up in the finals of the Champions League? Did you manage to get Ajax through all the way, or what were the challenges you faced? I ended up using a system that I typically wouldn't advise people using, the Galileo system, which is one of my favorites. And they still did okay. And Kasper Dolberg scored 44 goals. I love it when players try to score lots of goals. So let me know how your saves get along. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you found this interesting. I just wanted to share it with you guys, and I wanted to see what you guys had to think about it. So you guys take care. Have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.